Hello and welcome to another video. This time we actually have one for Warlock. So yeah, we have one for Warlock and it's stupid broken. All right, sorry, I don't mean broken. I mean entertaining. Bungie, don't touch this, please. So basically, the fundamentals of this build is shoot everything and poison everything, as well as use your melee to poison everything. So everything will take damage over time, and everything will slowly just get murdered. So let's take a look at this. Before we actually get into today's video though, I just want to say, if you like this video or if it's enjoyable in any way, please consider subscribing. It's free, quick, easy, and you could always unsubscribe afterwards if you don't like my content. With that out of the way, let's carry on with the video. So what we're using with this is the new exotic gauntlets for Warlock called the Necrotic Grip. Now what the Necrotic Grip does is damaging combatants with melee attacks corrupts them with increasing damage over time. Defeating a corrupted combatant spreads a corrupting effect to nearby targets and restores melee energy. So basically, whenever we punch people, we are going to be doing poison damage, and whenever that poison damage kills people, whenever we kill people that have a damaging effect on them, or poisoning effect on them, then it will create a little burst around the enemy that has been defeated of poison, and whoever is in that burst of poison will then become poisoned, and so on and so on. It'll keep continuously going on. Now the cool thing about these is that it actually works with the thorn poison effect. So the thorn poison effect that it applies on the enemies will trigger the poison effect on the gauntlet, so you don't need to melee them. So if you don't know what that means, that basically means that you do not need to melee people and get in their faces to poison them. All you need to do is do that shooty and then they're dead. Another cool thing about these is that Warlocks have this nice little thing called ranged melee. So you can you can use Celestial Fire, the ranged melee attack, to apply the burning effect or the poison effect on the enemies as well. And another cool thing about Warlock is that they have this thing called Wing Sun. Airborne final blows extend the effects of heat rises and grant melee energy. Yeah. So all you need to do is either shoot an enemy and apply the poison effect to a bunch of enemies, or you can use your melee in midair constantly, and the continuous deaths that the enemies will have will reapply your melee almost instantly. It's dumb, it's stupid, it's unfair, it's not right, it's wrong, and I love it. Bungie, don't touch this. With that being said, another thing you could actually do with this, instead of constant melees, is you can run Devour on Voidwalker. Now what Devour on Voidwalker does is consume your grenade energy to regenerate your health, grants the Devour effect, but what Devour actually does, for a short time afterward, kills restore additional health. That's 10 seconds of Devour. Every time you get a kill while Devour is active, it resets the timer. Now you can imagine that what an ad clearing build like this would do. So we are going to be constantly regenning our grenade over and over again, so we're just going to be throwing our grenades left and right, as well as applying the poison effect with our thorn. So the Necrotic Grip can lead to so many great things. I'm sure there's something good with Arc Warlock as well that's just amazing, as well as stasis, but for now we're focusing mainly on Dawnblade as well as Devour. So that's the whole subclass thing for Solar Top Tree Dawnblade as well as Bottom Tree Voidwalker Devour. And let's go into weapons now. So for weapons, of course, we are using our nice little thorn. Also, I tried the Monarch. It doesn't work, unfortunately. I could be wrong, but as far as I tested it, it didn't work the same way as Thorn. But besides that, we're running the Thorn because Thorn and Necrotic Grip, so nice. And we are also using the 7th Seraph Shotgun. So you can use whatever you want for your secondary, but this is what I'm using. Whatever you desire. For me, I am also using a rocket launcher, but that goes hand in hand with a modification that I'm using called Agent Ordnance, but I'll go over that later. But I am using a rocket launcher. You don't have to use a rocket launcher. I'm just using it in correspondence to my mods, which I'll go over in just a bit. Moving on to stats. Stats are 39 mobility, 53 resilience, 46 recovery. Disgusting, but what I got. 93 discipline, 27 intellect, and 71 strength. So our main priority with this build is to get our abilities back very fast. We want our grenades and melees as fast as we possibly can. If we're using Dawnblade, maybe spec into grenade a little more. If we're using Voidwalker, maybe spec into strength a little bit more, but that's up to you. Moving on to gear, special mod that I'm using is what I mentioned earlier, Agent Ordnance. What Agent Ordnance does is while charged with light, radiating or firing a rocket launcher grants increased damage and reload speed. Damaging a combatant with a rocket launcher consumes 1 stack of charged with light. So we're using our rocket launcher to take down those beefy enemies a bit faster than we would without it. Although, let's be honest, the Thorn with the Necrotic Grips can shred bosses very, very nicely. And as well as our 7th Seraph Shotgun with Trench Barrel. So our entire build is spec'd around ad control as well as high damage dealing to bosses. To actually get our Charge of Light stacks, we're using Taking Charge, picking up a Orb of Power, not Orb of Light, grants you Charge of Light. We are also using Shield Break Charge. Taking down an enemy shield or combatant shield grants you Charge of Light. And we are also using Precision Charge. This is our main source of getting Charged with Light. Become Charged with Light by rapidly defeating combatants with precision kills from bows and cannons and scout rifles. So this is our main way of becoming Charged with Light. We are Charged with Light almost 100% of the time. Also, if you don't want to use Asian Ordnance, another good mod to use would be High Energy Fire, because you're constantly Charged with Light, so you're always going to be getting that extra damage bonus. Honestly, I would prefer if you went High Energy Fire over Asian Ordnance, because you could have more fun with the Thorn and Necrotic Grips, of course. And yeah, that's all the major mods. Another thing I'm using is Bomber. Reduce grenade cooldown when using your class ability, but that gets more so used for Voidwalker Devour rather than Dawnblade. I am using Radiant Light as well to grant me that extra strength, and causing damage with grenade reduces your melee cooldown. That again is for the Devour effect. And yeah, that is the build. That is the build. That is this disgusting, beautiful, putrid, majestic build of Warlock. Because, you know, Warlocks get everything, bro. And yeah, I am done wishing hunters had more stuff. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, maybe comment. I reply to all my comments, and possibly subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and it means the world to me. By the way, thank you all for the support recently. It's been, it's been so good. Thank you. I'm really enjoying making these videos right now, but I really want to make more videos other than Destiny, but we'll see how that goes. I have a Phasmophobia video that I'm still ready to put out, but I still haven't put out. I am so sorry. God. All right. I'll see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this. Peace.